Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Zoe if you're new here, and today's video is going to be a full coverage Friday video, so happy Friday guys. I am going to be testing out a foundation that I have actually used in the past, and we will see what my thoughts are because I haven't used it in years. But I know it is a cult favorite for so many people. I don't think I have anything else to mention right now, so if you are new here, please subscribe before you leave, join our family, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and make sure you turn on your post notifications. It's that little bell icon that's right next to the subscribe button down below. That way you get notified every time I post a new video. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, or Twitter, those all will be linked in the description below. Also, please don't forget to leave a comment down below on what foundations you guys want to see in the future so I can add them to my list. But yeah, that is all I have to mention right now. So if you are ready to see what foundation I'm using, how it wears, how it performs, then just keep watching. Alright guys, so I have you guys zoomed in so you can see really well as I'm applying the products. The first thing I'm going to do is apply my primer, and I'm going to use my No Poreblem Prime Essence. This is what I've been using lately in these videos. I love this stuff. I think it works really well for me. If you have dry skin, I think you'd really like it. Alright, so for foundation today, I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. I am in the shade medium 57. So I will be using a brush and a sponge. I'm going to be using the Morphe highlight and contour sponge on this side, and then the Morphe M439 brush on this side. These are my two go-to tools. They will be listed down in the description if you have any questions about what they are. Okay, so I'm going to start on this side, on my sponge side. This foundation is extremely thick. So if you don't like a thicker consistency, then you probably won't like this. I'm going to start with that, and then we'll build on from there if we have to. I will say that this foundation does smell like actual paint. Like, it almost smells like acrylic paint. If you are familiar with different paint types and what they smell like, this literally smells like acrylic paint. So if you're sensitive to smells, you might not like that. I mean, it does go away once it's on your skin, but it does have a scent. Alright, so that is one layer on. I'm not sure if you can tell how well it's covered, but it covered practically everything with one application. I'm going to build it up back here on this area. I don't think I put enough product back here. That's my more problematic area anyways. Other than that, I really don't feel like I need to build it up at all. This is a thicker foundation, like I said, so I really don't want to build this up a whole bunch because it will get cakey real fast. Alright, so that's two layers on. It covered everything really well. It built up really nicely. Looks good. It looks decent. It's not my favorite on my skin. It doesn't look bad by all means. It doesn't look bad at all, but it's just not my favorite. I have come across a lot more foundations that blend into the skin so much better than this foundation does. This foundation really does sit on top, so if you have like a lot of blemishes or a lot of texture, this is going to emphasize it, especially because it is matte. It's going to cling to everything. So far it's not clinging really to anything. Also, the foundation dries really quickly, so you do want to either work in sections or just work extremely fast when applying this because it dries so quickly. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start on the brush side. Look at the difference. It is crazy. This foundation is probably one of the most full coverage foundations I've ever tried. But just because it's the most full coverage, it doesn't mean that it's the best, in my opinion. That is one layer on with a brush. So with the brush, it did cover better in one go. However, it is kind of clinging onto a few dry spots that I have over here on my cheek, more so than it is over on the side with the sponge. So if I were to use a brush just to get the coverage out of it, I probably would go back over it with a sponge just to really get it to blend into my skin. But I'm going to give you guys a close-up so you can see for yourself what I'm talking about. Hopefully you'll be able to see it on camera because it is very minimal, but if you have more texture and dryness to your skin, you probably would not like that. If you have oily skin, this foundation might be your best friend. But I'm going to give you guys a close-up really quickly, and then I will finish up my makeup and then give you guys another close-up. So here's a full face view. Here is the sponge side. Here is the brush side. Okay, so I am done with all of my makeup, and I have mixed feelings about this. From a distance, this looks really good. Even up close, it doesn't look too bad. It's just a hair too dry for me, but it doesn't look bad. This definitely is going to be a really good long wearing foundation, especially on me. But yeah, it doesn't look bad. I promise. We'll see in the close-up. It doesn't look bad at all, but it is just a little bit more dry than I would like for myself. I do have more normal to dry skin, but yeah, it's kind of like a love-hate relationship. Like, I can definitely tell I'm wearing makeup. I can definitely see it on me. But it doesn't look super cakey or anything. It just looks like it's kind of just sitting on top of my skin. And I did have to set this with powder, so I did set it with a very, very light amount of powder with a brush. And I used an illuminating powder just to give me some life back into my skin. But yeah, those are my thoughts as of right now. But I'm going to give you guys a close-up really quickly so you can see what it looks like for yourself. And then I will update you guys at the end of the night. Oh, before I forgot to tell you what time it is. It is currently 2:20, but I started putting this on at, hold on. But I started putting on the foundation at 1:19. So 1:20, it's 2:20 now. I've had it on for an hour. So I will let you guys know what my thoughts are at the end of the night. All right, so here is a full face view. Here is the sponge side. Here is the brush side. Hey guys, so I am back and it's very late. At least it's very late for me. It's currently 11:10 p.m. So I've had this on for about 10 hours, a little less. So I've had this on for a very, very, very long time. At least for a foundation, that's a pretty long time to wear a foundation. So one of the things that I noticed is that I have some drier spots down here and kind of on my cheek, but right down here, these ones are a little bit more prominent. And the foundation really clung to those areas and like emphasized them a lot. You'll see in the close-up, but it just looks like crusty and kind of gross. There's a spot right here that's missing foundation that has nothing to do with the foundation. I got pizza on my face when I was eating dinner and I wiped it off, and yeah, the foundation didn't survive. But I mean, it's pizza, so I'm not gonna hold that against it. Another thing that I noticed is that it did kind of sink into my pores a little bit. You can see my pores more so in this foundation than you could in other foundations. Also, it made my smile lines crease really badly on both sides, which is very odd for me. I don't ever get smile lines like that. I also kind of have a crease going up from my nose right here, which is also new. I've never seen that on my face before. Another thing that I've noticed is that I have a few little creases right here. If I do that, I don't have forehead lines at all. But if I do that, the foundation bunches up right here. And I guess I've done that quite a bit today because there's like little lines in the center of my brows. Other than that, the overall application looks really good. So if I were to wear this again, I would probably just really focus on setting it better and maybe using a little bit less product in those areas. As for my dry spots, it's nothing I can really do. I just have to kind of wait for that to go away by itself, and making sure that I'm like moisturizing my skin really well. But yeah, it's very clinged on to those spots and doesn't look very cute. There aren't a lot of them, so it doesn't look too bad, but overall the foundation looks pretty good from a distance, but if you get up close and personal, if you're like standing right here and talking to me and having a conversation, you'd be able to see all the things that I can see. Again, this just isn't my favorite foundation. It didn't break up on my chin like it used to, which is pretty good. But yeah, it's just not my favorite foundation. Those are my final thoughts. If you have oily skin, you probably would really like this foundation, but just keep in mind that a little really does go a long way. This foundation is so thick that less is more with it. The more you put on, the more cakey it gets. It gets cakey really quickly and really easily. So just keep that in mind if you decide you want to try it. If you do want to try it, make sure you get a sample at Sephora before purchasing it. I'm going to give you guys the details on the foundation really quickly. Okay, so this is the Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation. It retails for $36, and it comes in 44 shades. There are 14 new shades of this foundation. So it's got a really great shade range, I will say that. It is very long wear. I have had this on for 10 hours and it's just now, I guess, looking kind of crazy. But again, like I said, from a distance, you really can't tell. So I would agree with that. It's very long wearing. The coverage is very full and it is a matte foundation. I agree 100% with all of that. It says for the skin type that this should be for combination oily. I agree with that as well. I do not think you would like this if you have dry skin. This comes with 1 ounce, so that is the normal size most foundations are, so it's not too bad. So $36, 44 shades, matte finish, full coverage, and it's 1 ounce. Oh, it's also vegan. But I'm going to give you guys one more final close-up so you can see everything that I'm talking about up close and personal, and then I will say goodbye and good night. Here is a full face view. Here are those lines I was talking about in my forehead, right here. So if I go like this, you see the foundation bunches up like that. So I guess I've been doing that a good bit today because that normally doesn't happen. And my smile lines. And let me see if you can see this one. There's like a crease right here, which is just odd. You see how badly it creased in my smile line, especially on this side. Don't know what that's about either. So again, that's a pizza spot. This too was a pizza spot. But here are the spots that I was talking about and kind of clinging on to. Yeah, it just looks really dry. Here is the sponge side. Here is the brush side. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. Those are my close-ups. I hope you could see on camera all the little things that I was mentioning to you guys, all the little concerns I had. Overall, like on the perimeter of my face, it doesn't look bad at all. It didn't rub off or anything. It lasted a long time and the coverage was amazing. But it just, I have better foundations that work better for me and my skin type than this one. So this isn't my favorite. I personally would not purchase this for myself and my skin type. I just don't like how it wears on me, but that doesn't mean that you guys wouldn't like it. That is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I guess I will see you guys in my next video. Love you so much. Bye.